Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to 7 Days to Die. So here we are at the house, the quest that we had. It's exactly the house that I thought it was. So we're going to double loot the mailbox and then get right at it. I spent the night just organizing stuff, and then I think I left around 2, so it probably took me a couple in-game hours to get here. Okay, do we have anything in here? No, we do not have a ton of ammunition on us. So I'm going to get at this. It's probably going to be a real quick one. I think, as I commented at the end of my last video, I got a pinned comment in there that says, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a multi-day episode. That's probably going to be a series finale with the day 42 Horde night. So yeah, once that's done, we'll just see where we go from there. So let's get at her. There wasn't too much going on the lower level. It's pretty much just regular zombies. Same with this first floor. Regular zombies, regular loot. Gotta like the books, of course. A couple guys hanging out in the kitchen. Don't know what they were up to, but I stopped for a snack. Second floor got a little bit more intense. We started to see the feral whites and radiated combination. Of course, I sat on some spikes there for a little while. I don't know why I thought this guy was still alive. Turned out it was just a crawler in the pool. Overall, I think I'd have to say that the loot was kind of regular, but it was actually pretty good. For me, having things that I could sell was really important in this playthrough, and I did get a fair amount of that. I started luring zombies down from up above just because I figured it would be easier to fight them in smaller groups. I don't know why this feral white and radiated zombies seem to be a regular theme in this POI. Trying to watch how much I used the guns because I didn't bring a whole lot of ammunition with me. Did find a nice pump shotgun and of course the supplies I was looking for, which is pretty good. Then I was off up to the attic expecting the big final loot fight. I almost got a sneak attack on this guy, but of course I missed and hit the pallet. Again, I decided luring them down to fight them in smaller groups would be the better idea. Said it before and I'll say it again. One-on-one, nothing beats the stun baton. Okay, that's kind of gross. His friend apparently didn't learn anything. And lost his head too. make that shot? Yep, right behind the ear. One down, one to go. Luckily, he was just a regular soldier. Threaded the needle there. But as it turned out, that one didn't die. Luckily, he was also just a normal zombie. And same with this guy. It turned out that was it. That very first Barrel White was the only tough guy up here. So it was time to go through some loot. And again, a lot of the loot wasn't necessarily stuff that I needed per se, but there were some pretty good sellables in there, especially in the main chest here. I think that lockpicking skill was working because in this run, I was having like real easy time getting into things. Like I said, some good sellables. Good amounts of ammunition. Not a lot of 7.62. Anyway, I head back to the trader. Decided to loot a little bit of his compound, at least the main workstations. See if there was anything good. One of my main goals here, though, was to get through with Trader Hugh so that I could head back to the town we were living in and see the other trader. I ended up taking as a reward a schematic that I just sold back to him. There really wasn't much there that I wanted. I kind of had a lot of junk on me at this point. I don't know what's thinking here. He had a better pipe pump shotgun, so I ended up buying that. I headed back to the other trader. It was getting pretty late, so I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to start looting here, but I did anyway because, you know, loot is always better than no loot. Again, I thought it was pretty cool that you could find a steel pickaxe in a workbench. He was having me scared at this point, so I figured I would just run in, get a mission, and get my butt home.
It's not a charity, but if you got the dukes, you got the guns. You seem like you... I hope to see you soon. And, don't get yourself killed.
I'll do my best, Hugh. I puttered around the base through the night, and then in the morning decided that I really needed a better way in and out, especially considering I was planning on getting rid of the internal stairs. My original solution was not the greatest. But it worked, so I guess we can smooth it out later. I'm not going to complain. Maybe a little. And it was time to head off to Butcher Pete's. I could have sworn in this front store area, the whole time I could hear a zombie breathing. And I thought for sure he was either behind this counter or somewhere about to jump out at me. I don't know why I wasn't paying too much attention to the dots on the compass. Wasn't actually until I went out and opened the cash register till I found them. Or rather, they found me. I don't know what Pete was feeding you, but yeah. This second floor is always a weird one. There's some like occult meeting room going on here. I thought I was doing all right here, just fighting this guy until his cop friend showed up and the other green janitor in behind him, or mechanic, whatever you want to call him. Started getting my butt handed to me, so guns it is. I wish that shotgun was loaded. I don't know why I even switched over to it, but wasn't doing myself any favors. Figured it was a good point to run around the corner and get some first aid going. Maybe we load the guns before we take on the zombies again. I'm guessing these guys heard the gunfire and just decided to come have a look. There's one of Pete's best customers. He left some loot, so I was okay with that. You'd think I'd be getting used to that weird flip-flop sound that these feral whites make, but I don't know why. It always seems to catch me off guard. Found a gun safe, which of course had a rad remover rod mod, just like the one that I just purchased. Oh well, not a big deal. You can't put two bullets in the same gun. You know that. This time, I recognized the sound of the feral white pretty much immediately. He was pretty quick getting down the stairs. That painkiller turned out to be a pretty good find because I had a concussion that I needed to get rid of. That worked out all right. Down in the basement was where the real action happened. I don't know how he got in there. I could have sworn there was nobody there when I closed that hatch. Pop explosion actually did me a favor there. Decided to set up the jump turret and take a bit of a defensive position, thinking that there would be more going on down here. But there wasn't. It was just into the main loot, which again was pretty good. Some decent sellables. good amount of 7.62, which is going to replenish what I was using. I was pretty desperate for inventory space, so I was just kind of dropping the non-essentials. This POI is odd because it's one of the few that still has a significant fight after you get the main loot. I just decided to run around to where I had some more space to be able to take care of these guys. Yeah, shotgun rounds are not the best against armored opponents. Maybe it would be if you had the slug rounds, but just the regular pellet rounds, not the greatest. Although the pump shotgun is still a weapon worth having, because even with no points spec'd into it, it is still pretty effective at stopping anything that's coming at you. Headed back for a reward. Sold off a few things. I mean, let's face it, in this playthrough, nothing has mattered more than money. He had a better tactical assault rifle, so I decided to pay for the upgrade. Being as better weapons were definitely going to help out, seeing as I was kind of further along than I wanted to be. I had to head back to Butcher Beats because I realized I left my junk turret behind. I had some time left in the day, so I decided to go across the street to the video store / police station. Cop cars always give pretty good loot, and in the snow biome it's just that much better. So I got some decent ammunition and some good sellables. Not much that I really needed, but still worth it. Big Mom had taken so many power attacks that I actually had to stop and run outside because my stamina was just not coming back. I could have switched to guns, but she was on her own, so I really didn't see it as that much of a problem, other than the fact that it took longer than it should have. See how far that feral was? And then she's like right behind me. She got through that store very, very quickly. This guy was pretty sketchy looking, hanging out behind the video store. Although technically he was on the police station side, so I don't know. Maybe he was undercover. Now at this point, my inventory was getting very, very full. I don't know why. I was right across from my base, so I probably should have like gone and dropped some stuff off, but for some reason I didn't. It wasn't even that late in the day, and I probably could have finished this POI off. I decided to push through, and at this point I know I'm getting near to the end loop of this POI because it is a relatively small one. Not hard to tell I put the full auto mod in the gun because I used way more ammo than I was using at that house earlier. I spotted the main loot, and because my inventory was so full at this point, I just decided may as well head back to the base and get rid of those stairs, do a little bit of work. Wasn't that far from nightfall, so my inventory needed organizing. I was thinking a lot about the next playthrough that I'm going to do in 2.0. Earlier I had talked about doing like a farmer build and kind of rebuilding a family farm, but I don't want something that's going to stay stationary. I want a character that I'm going to move around with. So I think I might just go for a commando build and do a full-on perception build. Because so far I think everybody I've seen has been doing a strength build because of the new Sledgehammer book series. So I'm going to do something completely different and not touch the Sledgehammer or the Pack Mule perk, because Pack Mule has been buffed. And we can get into that next time. Now, early the next morning, I was about to head out to the mission when I noticed a little werewolf friend across the street. So I decided to call him over, because who can resist the red loot bags? I kind of wasted a lot of ammo on him, but I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. The red loot bags never disappoint. Always good stuff, whether it's ammunition, sellables, books. And for anyone who doesn't know, the dire wolves and zombie bears are always guaranteed to drop a red loot bag. I'm not sure if Grace is guaranteed to or just has a percentage. And the demolition zombies have a percentage chance to drop the red loot bags. As far as I know, those are the only 4 zombies that will give them to you. Although I don't know with the new update whether the blue or orange infernal zombies will drop red loot bags or something different. So while I was clearing out the locals, I saw this wolf across the road, and I figured I may as well take him out too. Just because I'm not overly familiar with this hotel POI, and I didn't want anything to be sneaking up behind me. This gun store is another POI that I'll probably go through after I'm done the police station. It's just another tier 3. Be worthwhile. Jim's gun fortress will have some good weapons and ammo. I don't know what I was thinking at this point. I started to build some kind of a pillar out in the parking lot, not really knowing if I would have any use for it. Come on, Steve. Why are you interrupting? Decided to loot the few goodies that are around front. A couple mailboxes and a ATM machine. One of these days I'm going to do a full-on run with the rogue outfit and just go around yanking loot and stealing things. A lot of people consider the rogue outfit to be sort of a assassin light. It's stealth build, but not as good. I don't know. I think it would be a fun playthrough. Definitely be a challenge, because you can't just completely disappear like you can with the assassin outfit. Although apparently in 2.0, even the assassin outfit has been nerfed to a certain extent. I figured it was a good idea to drop off as much as I could in the bike. Because again, I had no idea really what to expect in this POI. Completed the Magnum Enforcer book set. Not that it really matters all that much, because I probably wasn't going to be using magnums at all in this playthrough. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Why don't you just stick a ladder up there? That'll give you a place to run to if worse comes to worse. Yeah, good enough. I figured it'd be a good idea to set up the turret right at this choke point here. I was assuming there would be zombies chasing me out, so why not? Seemed like as good a place as any. There probably wasn't going to be anything better in the courtyard. I don't know if those guys were an automatic trigger, if I was just making noise or something. But, yeah. Time to test out the fighting position. Turned out it worked out pretty good. Spent some time basically just going through a lot of rooms with a lot of nothing in them. Then I woke up these guys. Then it was back to going through empty rooms. Found a fair bit of toilet water, but not a whole lot else. Finally got to an area that seemed like it was getting interesting. Having a junk turret at a choke point really seemed to be paying off. Kind of figured that was the way they want me to go. This whole time I had no idea if I was actually following the right path or not. That kind of seemed like the only option at this point, so. What else are you going to do? Get the machine gun out and just jump down. Turned out there was nothing there. Dropping into a room can either go one or two ways. Nothing there at all, or there's a whole bunch that's just going to kill you. I don't know how this guy who was on fire was hiding in that one closet that was absolutely pristine in a burnt room. How does that work? It's always funny when you're about to shoot something and the junk turret just knocks him out of the way. That guy must have been up on the roof. He darn near fell on my head. But it turned out he was just a normal zombie. Nothing special. I don't know who was making that noise. Figured I'd go for some more toilet water before investigating. Turns out it was just Mo, coming to see what was going on. Decided to go up and check out the roof, expecting to get mauled by a flock of birds, but as it turned out, the roof was pretty much empty. The candelier, I figured that was probably the way to go. Decided to check out the rest of the roof just in case I might be missing something. But as it turned out, I wasn't. Turned out that fell into a room that I had already been in. I was just kind of figuring that this was the way to go. So I cleared some space so that I could get the junk turret down. Seeing as how it had saved me more than once already. But of course, the room was just another locked room with really nothing in it. There was a lot of that going on in this POI. But I guess it's kind of cool though, because it makes it different from a lot of other style POIs where you're just going in a straight line and hitting zombies in every room. Kind of makes for a different sort of run. I don't know why I put the turret down. I knew this was just going out to the outside and there was nothing there. Finally got myself back on track to where I figured I was on the proper path to complete the thing. These guys sort of wised me up to where to go. Sometimes I wonder if when I'm doing these bigger POIs, I should just not really bother looting at all. Just leave it all until I get to the end loot. Of course, you never know. Sometimes you can loot something that seems completely innocuous and end up with a really good item. At this point, I think I thought I was getting close to the end loot. Turned out it was just a kitchen. That one crate sitting there kind of had me thinking I should be expecting a whole bunch of zombies to come running at me. Like, there were some, but not what you'd expect in a tier 4 POI. Whoever that was banging around outside was just going to have to wait, because I wasn't too enthusiastic about breaking through the walls. Turned out this was another one of those spots where there was a couple janitors in the ceiling pointing me in the right direction. Maybe they were utility workers, I don't know. They look like janitors to me. Again, I was still expecting end loot type zombies at this point. As soon as I saw that there, it seemed like a trap. It seemed like they wanted me to walk up to that and fall through the floor. Oh yeah. I don't know why the floor didn't bust out at that point, but I wasn't going to take any chances. It seemed like it should break out. Still going to get whatever's in the box, though. Since the bike was just around the corner, I figured now would be a good time to just run out and try to unload whatever I could. Which was not really all that much because, well, the bike was already full. But I cleared up a decent amount of inventory space. Some of the stuff I hung on to, I honestly don't know why I hung on to it. I didn't really need the coffee and the hop seed and that sort of stuff. Decided to take my ladder back because they were completely unnecessary, as it turned out. That door was really getting in my way. I decided to close it so I could get the turret down. I was thinking that because the zombies tend to have difficulty coming up the spiral stairs, so I really thought that I could just put the turret down, and if they were even a little bit slow, the turret would have no problem taking care of the zombies and really preventing them from getting up the stairs. I kind of thought this would be easy. This was definitely the end loop. And those were definitely the end loop zombies. This is the point where I realized I really should have left that door open or gotten rid of it altogether. As it turned out, the zombies didn't have much of a problem getting up the stairs. I did manage to get the door open. The lumberjack decided he was just going to keep me locked out. And then the cop explodes, said insult to injury. And the nurse jumped on top of me. Oh well. So it ends. Maybe 2.0 is calling. So thanks for tuning in, and I guess our next video will be a new adventure in 2.0, and we'll see all the new updates. So thanks again for tuning in, and see you soon. Bye.